Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we actually have to talk about a phishing attack so bad that Google is giving away free hardware security keys. I'm not kidding, this is what's going on, and holy cow. And this kind of actually dovetails with the video slash podcast that I put out yesterday regarding foreign intelligence operations worming their way through Facebook, now demonstrably proven by a whistleblower and internal documentation. But here's what's going on with Google, because Google has said that it will provide 10,000 quote-unquote high-risk users with free hardware security keys days after the company warned that thousands of Gmail users that were basically targeted by state-sponsored hackers are deserving of these keys. Now, this warning was sent by Google's Threat Analysis Group, or TAG, and they alerted more than 14,000 Gmail users that they had been targeted in a state-sponsored phishing campaign from APT, or Advanced Persistent Threat 28, also known as Fancy Bear. Now, if you don't know who Fancy Bear is, they're essentially operatives from Russia's GRU intelligence agency, and they've been active for more than a decade. I've reported on them here in this podcast video and on my radio show and in writing for years now at this point. And they're basically widely known for hacking the DNC and basically the disinformation election influence campaigns in the 2016 presidential election. I mentioned those yesterday as well, actually reading through a lot of the ads and all that kind of stuff that the other side of the intelligence was doing, which was the Internet Research Agency. These guys are the ones breaking in. And I quote, "These warnings indicate targeting, not compromise. If we are warning you, there's a very high chance we blocked," and this is according to Shane Huntley, the director of Google's TAG, quote, "The increased numbers this month come from a small number of widely targeted campaigns which were blocked." Now, Mr. Huntley also added that these warnings are normal for individuals such as activists, journalists, and government officials, because that's who basically government-backed entities tend to target. Quote, "If you're an activist, journalist, government official, or work in national security, this warning honestly shouldn't be a surprise. At some point, some government-backed entity will probably try and send you something." This is very true. I have actually been the recipient of some of this stuff before, though not on my Gmail account. Now, Google said in a blog post that it will send out the security keys throughout 2021 to encourage users to enroll in its Advanced Protection Program, or APP, which safeguards users with high visibility and sensitive information who are at risk of targeted online attacks. Security keys obviously make it harder for phishing attacks to work, as security keys can only be used to unlock accounts on legitimate websites. Additionally, Google also announced new and extended partnerships with the International Foundation for Electoral Systems, UN Women, and nonprofit Defending Digital Campaigns in order to shore up security for its most at-risk users. Through this collaboration with the latter, Google said it has already provided tightened security keys to more than 180 eligible federal campaigns during the 2020 U.S. election season, adding that it's now working with the organization to provide further protection for state-level campaigns and political parties, committees, and related organizations, including workshops and training on how to protect against cyber attacks. And this is a very serious problem. Especially since we are living in a very politically divided time at the moment, we are going to have a very serious problem with continuous intelligence agencies attempting to run information, or rather disinformation campaigns against the general population of the United States, basically hacking attempts that we've seen consistently. Microsoft themselves is continuously finding basically Office 365 spoofed pages that are being sent to various political campaigns here in the United States and elsewhere around the globe. This is a huge problem, and it doesn't stop. And so by virtue of that, we're going to see where this completely ends up. But it is a huge, huge problem that we've got right now, and it's not going away anytime soon. So I'm glad that Google is doing this. When it comes to using Google products, I'm not the biggest fan given their track record for data mining, because obviously they're giving us stuff for free, so they data mine us, not to mention their privacy issues in the past. But if they are stepping up the game and they are giving away security keys that are hardening and defending those that are most at risk, such as journalists, activists, politicians, et cetera, I think that's a really good thing, because the last thing we need is a disruption in government or in honest and legitimate information simply at the whim of an authoritarian regime, many of which are the ones that are really spearheading a lot of this stuff, especially here targeting the United States. So I'm glad to see this happening. That is your news of the day, and hopefully you're not one of the 14,000. And even if you aren't, you really need to get hardware security in your life as well through a security key or at least an authenticator app. Just make sure that you're running identity management, multi-factor authentication, not reusing your passwords, changing your passwords with some frequency as well, just to stay ahead. And please, as always, just be wary of any email that looks legitimate. I don't even open stuff from my own parents, for example, without running it through sandboxing and threat detection, because you never know when they're going to get compromised. It's just the way of the world right now. So zero trust really is the name of the game. And so that's your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please stay private. Thanks, everyone.